Thank you for joining me. It was ever such a wet and windy morning. But this afternoon the sun's come out, so I thought I've got to get out there. I did want to go across the fields, but there's enough of a breeze for it to buffet and affect the microphone, so I'm just down the lane looking at the trees. I just raked the lawn. The leaves from the trees around my garden had formed quite a nice carpet. I shouldn't complain because I enjoy the beauty of them. And my 50p tree that I bought from the rescue bin in a garden centre 30 years plus ago now has looked absolutely gorgeous all year. So when I'm picking up its leaves, it is with a thank you. And I don't move the leaves from the beds and under the shrubs. I leave those there for the mini beasts to use during the winter weeks and months. I hate to see this. Yeah, the hedge needs to be cut, but it's sort of been sawn at. There are rough pieces sticking out. Okay, it will come to, but at present it looks rather violent. I have visions of a big machine coming along and hacking at those branches. But this oak tree, I looked at it some weeks ago and thought the leaves were beginning to turn brown then, but they're hanging on in there. I don't know what's going on with this weather of ours. But whilst I'm looking up at the clouds, drifting across, they're high ones, light ones, though in the distance there are some lower, more threatening clouds. But I love looking up at the night sky. When we can see the stars, it's great. And I spent some time, far too many years ago to count now, on a little island in Indonesia. No light pollution. So you could lie on a hammock at night. And especially if you'd had a couple of the very nice fresh pineapple cocktails that went, well, it divided in half in my mouth. Half went to my knees and the other half went to my head. So I was with the fairies, but happy to lie in my hammock, look at the stars and ponder. I'd love to see that sky filled with stars. The trouble is there's nowhere near to me that I can get that light pollution free area. And I could do with, maybe Professor Brian Cox coming along and explaining things to me. Now that would be my idea of heaven on earth. Somebody who knows about these things and can explain them and not make those who are listening feel idiots. These leaves are nice and dry. I can't resist crunching them. Used to have a neighbour before I lived here who got a leaf blower. Yeah, fine if you blow the leaves into a pile and collect them up, but not fine if you blow them into the side of the roads where they block up the grids, or even worse, onto the pavement in front of your neighbour's house. And that happened more than once. But back to Brian Cox. Yes, if he'd been next to me in that hammock explaining, not literally in the same hammock, in another hammock, explaining just what's going on up there, what's what, where's where, what is a black hole? Now that would be great. You know, when people say, if you could ask 6 people to dinner, who would you have? On top of my list would always be the Prof. So many questions to ask. Does he think there's life out there? I can't decide whether I do, but I can't decide whether life, in inverted commas, has to be as we imagine it. Could life not be based on completely different minerals and elements and be completely different to us, but still be a form of life? Not life as we know it. Ooh, and a crossroads. Decisions. Decisions. Right, decision decided. I'm going to go and see if my friend is in for a catch-up natter. So I need to stride out. I will leave you in peace, but thank you for listening. Thank you for being my companion as I've walked along this little lane. As ever, I appreciate it. Take care and speak to you soon. Bye.